So I just heard back from the realtor on 100 Stonewall, and they rejected our offer. They rejected us, and they're under contract with somebody else.
All right, man, we've made probably a handful of offers now, and they've all been rejected. So how do you feel at this point? Like, we've been, consistently underwriting deals, going to look at deals, and making offers, and they haven't been accepted because they've been too low.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of discouraging. I also feel like we're running our numbers correctly. So I don't really know how to bridge that delta, where we're not putting ourselves in a situation where we're going to be grossly overpaying for something, but actually be able to get something so we can go on to the next steps of this.
So I heard in there it's like a little bit, what did you say? It's a little bit like, what's the word you said? Discouraging.
Yeah,
for
sure.
A little discouraging. So I remember that when I got started. Like, I feel like it was a little discouraging because I would go to people's houses. So I was going direct to seller, and I was making offers to them, and I was getting like chased out of houses and stuff like that. And I was like, man, I feel like I've made a lot of offers, but I haven't gotten a deal. In hindsight now, I wasn't making nearly enough offers. So the thing was, sometimes it takes 15, 20, 25, 30 offers to get a deal. And so I thought it'd be like, the first offer I made, I'd get a deal.
Yeah.
They would say yes, or I'd at least get a respercent, like a counter or something.
There's no counters for anything either.
Well, that's because you're making offers like 100, like 40% lower than their asking price.
Yeah.
The wholesalers, it's going to be you or somebody else. It's not going to be like you at your price. But sometimes it will be. Sometimes if you're the only offer, they'll negotiate with you.
Yeah.
But I mean, we haven't even been close to their asking price.
No, they're all double what they should be for a wholesaler.
And that's where we are in the marketplace a little bit. It's like the seller is not ready to accept the fact that that we need to drop our prices a little bit as buyers, and the buyers are not really, they're being a little bit more careful about what they're buying.
For sure.
Which is totally normal. The biggest thing I'll say is don't get discouraged. A lot of times new flippers, new investors, what they'll do is they'll stop making offers, or they'll think that they're doing something wrong. I don't think that we're doing anything wrong. Just like you said, you like that we're staying with our numbers. You should just realize that we need to make more offers in order to get that first deal.
So basically what I was doing is taking the address.
Well, hey, before you get into that, what I'm getting at is, like, the more you run these numbers, do you feel more comfortable doing it?
Oh, 100%.
Okay, so like the more you do that, the more you're going to see that, I don't know, you'll get into a rhythm, right? And so you're getting into a rhythm, you're not asking me as many questions as you were when we started, and you can kind of see what that looks like.
I have 7 different properties here. I got the addresses, which I can pull up and show you. They're asking prices for them, square foot, bed, baths, the link. Then I tried to get 3 comps, and some of these, the comps are almost impossible to find. But I had my estimated ARV, repairs, profit, 18%, and then what I can make for an offer. So if you wanted to start looking at them, we could go through this kind of quick.
Let's look really quick at, is there anything that has an offer close to the asking price?
No.
Okay, so what is the spread? Like, let's just look at the spread.
All right, so this one's actually going to be a little bit higher, so this will be more like 410 versus 585.
Okay, so that's $170,000 below asking price. What about the next one?
They're asking 360, and I feel like you probably offer 130.
But you have $24,000 in mind. Okay, well, you added it back.
Yeah.
Okay, so what else? That's like 30%.
Yep. 489 to 330.
Okay.
That's 120 off. 145 to 45.
Okay.
And you could, or actually be like 55, but you could tell me like if I'm computing this wrong.
Well, we'll look a little closer.
Then we have 375 to 250. This one's kind of a weird one. The guy's very interested in selling. He's a motivated seller. It's 3 acres with a mobile home.
You're bringing me back a mobile home.
I'm bringing you back a mobile home.
Dude, I think this might be a mobile home.
Is that bad?
It's exactly what I'm talking about here. The people that are listing these properties that have asking price on these properties, they're still living in like a year ago or 6 months ago. And so what we have to do is we just kind of have to keep making offers, keep running our numbers, and waiting for that to normalize. We got to go find better deals. And so what I'm thinking is our issue right now probably is wholesalers, realtors, probably not direct to sell. We're not finding motivation. And that's the problem. So I think what we need to do is we need to start thinking more like that, where we're going to find more leads of motivation, where we can go directly to the seller on motivated sellers, and we're probably going to have to spend some money to do a campaign there.
Okay.
Everything in this business is motivation, 100%. If there's no motivation, you're not buying a house. You've got to have an incredibly motivated seller who's willing to trade equity in their house for ease and speed of transaction.
Yeah.
That's that simple.
So this last one, the guy's motivated. He's moving.
Okay.
He's just trying to get out of the
All right,
property.
let's look at it. Let's look at this one.
This is what he wants for it. It's 3 acres in Columbia. There's a mobile home on it, but it does have power, water, and septic. That's zoned for, I believe, a 3-2 to be put up permanently. So not a lot of actual information on it.
Did you talk to this guy?
Yeah, on Facebook.
Asking 99.8, but I'm not stuck on that number as long as it isn't too far off.
So I did find 2 somewhat comps on this one. They're back to back. They're both 1.8 acres, and they sold for, I believe, 85.
I don't know. I don't know. Like most of these mobile homes, that, like he said, they need to be torn down. I don't think a new construction property is your best first deal.
Okay.
And you probably need to just get this for land value minus the cost to tear out the mobile home. Let's look at one of these other properties. Let's look at one of the ones that might be somewhat close to or an ARV above their asking price. Let me get this one in.
So this one's a real fixer-upper if it's the one that I think it is.
Okay.
But there are some weird comps.
Okay.
They're asking 360, which is it's very high for it. Some of the properties around this are selling well, and it's a new construction area. This is one of the only houses in that area. It's not new construction. It's a duplex. One's a 2-1, one's a 1-1.
So are these all listed properes? I mean, this is on.
This one is.
So which ones aren't? Which ones are not listed?
I thought I saw 1 or 2 that were off market. This is active.
No, it looks like a little house. 325. Rented it for rent for 325 a
week. All right. So how are you figuring your numbers? Maybe I'm calculating in the wrong way.
So let's say I got $175,000 ARV, right?
Assuming we get it for that much, but yeah.
No, that's what the ARV is. Right?
I'm hoping
this is assumption, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's just say we're to get 12% interest, right?
Yep.
And we need this for 6 months.
Correct.
So that's
6%. Yeah.
And 6% of the money out of pocket, actually. It's not even 6% of the ARV. So we've really got to dial in money costs. So that's why I like ARV minus fixed costs minus repairs minus profit equals asking.
Okay.
Equals offer. When we do a percentage, it kind of gets mixed up. So maybe it's 14% instead of your 18% off of ARV. Because if you look at it, let's say I've got $100,000 in a property, I got $30,000 in repairs, right?
Yep.
$130,000 in.
Yeah.
And it's $180,000 ARV. Now, 6% of the ARV is more than 6% of the all-in cost for
Correct.
capital. Right? So maybe it comes out to 5% or something blended. So maybe we use 15%. 3% for each side of the realtors, and then maybe 4% for holding costs like closing costs, not outside of realtor fees. So it's title costs, it's doc stamps, it's taxes, it might be some tax prorations, it's mowing the grass, it's electricity, it's power, it's gas, it's all that stuff. So if I got 15%, so let's say 175,000 times 0.85, so that's remove 15%. And then I subtract $30,000 in rehab. And then I calculate my profit, which I want to be $30,000. You probably offer something like 88.5, 88,000, 89,000, somewhere around there, which would be my max allowable offer.
Okay.
And so then I might roll into this conversation saying, well, I mean, I ran all my numbers. I'm going to be pretty low.
Yeah.
And it might start 75, 77, 79, and go up to 88, 89 as a max. So look, here's the deal. She's a landlord. She's an investor. She's doing other flips. So she might be willing to do some sort of owner financing on it.
Interesting.
So it wouldn't necessarily help for, it could help for a flip. But maybe she just doesn't want to deal with it as a rental. Maybe she wants her capital back to go do something else. Yeah. But until you talk to her, you don't know. So I would go into that conversation as another investor because you're talking investor to investor.
Yep.
They don't care. She's not emotionally attached to that house. If she's renting it out for $325 a week, that's really good. $1,400 a month and I bet there's no possible way that she's renting it every week. So maybe she's making $1,200 a month on average, which is what, $14,000 a year or so, $13,000 a year. On a house that I bet she's got like 60 or 70 into it, maybe.
I'll say, could we maybe do this call together?
For sure, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I would go with you to this. We can go look at it together. So all of your offers here are gonna have to be very low.
Yeah, for sure.
Here's what I want you to do. I want you to take all the ones that are on market and put them over here.
Okay.
And you can just make offers through an agent on those. If they came directly to you, not through another agent that you're working with, ask that agent if they would represent you on the offer for that property so you can double in the deal.
Okay. So next step, I'm going to follow up with a couple of these people. What I'd like to try to do, though, while we're together, is actually get that person that has the cheap property on the phone.
Oh, the investor?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think that I'd love to almost be a fly on the wall and kind of learn if you take lead on it.
Get ready to write down. You got a pen or something?
Hello.
Hi, Kim.
Hey.
Hey, my name's Bill Allen.